impressive passenger or military airplanes that had to make emergency landings and have been abandoned all over the world. These are the 10 most amazing abandoned airplanes in the world. Number 10. B-58. It is a supersonic military aircraft that is abandoned near a military base in the Mojave Desert. It was used in the 1960s to perform tests with military systems. It was able to reach a speed of more than 2,000 kilometers per hour and had a cost of $12 million. When the tests were completed in 1964, the plane was towed to the place where it is located. Number 9. P-40. It is a military aircraft that belonged to the British Army during the 1940s. It was found in 2012 in the Sahara Desert 300 kilometers from the nearest city. It crashed 70 years ago when it was heading to a British airfield located in Egypt to be repaired. After being attacked, he had to make an emergency landing and nothing was learned from the pilot. Number 8. P-38. It is a U.S. military aircraft that entered service in 1941. Was found in 2007 on a beach in Wales after being 65 years hidden under the sand. The plane crashed in 1942 when its engines failed during some training exercises. The pilot was unharmed and the finding is considered one of the most important in recent aeronautics. Number 7. Douglas C-47. It is an American aircraft that was used in the 40s for the transport of heavy loads and for the deployment of paratroopers. In 1947, he made an emergency landing caused by an engine failure when he was traveling with more than 30 passengers who were rescued 20 days later. The plane was found in 2012 in northern Siberia 65 years after the incident. Number 6. Boeing 737. It is located next to a road south of the island very close to the airport. Right next to it there are houses and businesses and the plane can be seen from the street. His owner bought it with the intention of turning it into a business, but the project did not come to fruition. It has been in that place since 2012 and now it is usually visited by tourists. Number 5. C-121. It is a passenger plane which was buried in the snow after crashing in 1970. It crashed because of poor visibility caused by a strong storm. It fell less than a kilometer from an air base and no passenger was injured. Currently the plane has become an attraction and is usually visited by tourists. Number 4. PBY-5. It is a U.S. military seaplane that was in operation until 1957. Later it was bought by a wealthy businessman who turned it into a luxury private plane. In 1960 he used it to travel around the world together with his family and ended up being attacked by mistake. The airplane was damaged and when it tried to take off it was stuck in the place where it is. Number 3. Avro Shackleton. It was a maritime patrol aircraft that belonged to the South African Air Force. It was also used for search and rescue missions until it was removed in 1990. In 1994 it was used again until a failure in the motors caused that it had to realize an emergency landing while it was heading towards the United Kingdom. Number 2. Martini Bereave. It is an amphibious aircraft that measures 26 meters and weighs 50 tons. It was developed in the Soviet Union during the 1970s. He could travel long distances and reach a speed of almost 800 kilometers per hour. After a series of inconveniences, the project was abandoned and this is the only airplane that remains of the 2 prototypes that were built. Number 1. MD-160. It was called the Caspian Sea Monster and developed in the Soviet Union in the 1980s. It measures 74 meters in length and weighs 280 tons. Could reach a speed of 550 kilometers per hour flying 5 meters above the water. The lack of budget caused that the program was suspended and the airplane was left in a Russian naval base.